1200. That's 833-220-1200. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Good evening, everyone. I am your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but hey, my friends all call me Kat. And if you're new to my program, this is Dreaming Healing on Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network. And if you are only listening to us right now and you'd like to see us, just go to my website, Google in Kat, K-A-T, the Queen of Dreams. That's Kat with a K, K-A-T, the Queen of Dreams. And my website will come up. Click the website and you'll see a bar of black little tabs at the top. Click, I think it's a second from the left. It will say radio show. Click on that and it will take you to my website on Dreamvision 7 Radio Network. And from there, scroll down and you'll see the poster for today's show. And you'll see a little camera. Looks like a TV. It is. Click on that and it will take you to the live feed of this show. This is Dreaming Healing on Dreamvision 7 Radio Network live. So I'd love for you to watch us and not just listen, because, you know, it's fun and you never know. This is a live show, so you never know what's going to happen. And it's not unusual when I do these kind of spiritual shows where I'm answering your questions about dreams, life after death, all of that, to have lights start flickering. My phone will suddenly turn on and it will start answering questions. Yeah, it's wild. So anyhow, we're going to have a very special show tonight. You're my guest. All of my audience out there is my guest. You have sent me so many questions, and they're really good questions. And when I'm interviewing another guest, I don't have time to get to all of your questions. So tonight, I'm dedicating this show to you, and I am going to answer the questions you sent me on my phone and the questions you have sent me by email from my website. And I'm going to go back and forth because it seems like the ones that I have from the emails are mostly about dreams. And the ones that I have on my phone, a lot of those are about writing. So I'm going to go back and forth between dreams and publishing and writing. Okay. So I want to again thank you for selling out my book, Surviving Cancerland, and the big bump for Dreams It Can Save Your Life on Amazon after the Dreams Unmasked and Dreamy Writers event on the Norwegian cruise line Königsdam. And then this 3-hour Southwest Writers event at the University of Albuquerque, New Mexico, during that major snowstorm that just shocked everybody. You can see some highlights of that on my website. And we're going to do another Writers Conference cruise. So the dates and some of the information about the cruise is on my website that you can find again by just Googling Kat, K-A-T, the Queen of Dreams. So before we get to all of your questions tonight, let's do our protection meditation so that we're in a safe place when we're working with dreams and the afterlife. Okay? So if you're new to my show, and you're driving your car and listening to me on the radio, don't close your eyes during this meditation. It really will still work. And you can always go into the archives and watch this show when you're no longer driving. Okay? So just follow my voice and listen to my words. Those of you who are home watching me on your laptop or on your phone or wherever, get comfortable in your chair. Feel yourself just sinking really deep into this chair. Feel yourself relaxing. Now take a deep breath in. Fill your lungs from the bottom up. Hold it. Imagine any negativity from this week that happened to you going into that breath of life, blow it out. Empty your lungs into the purple flame of Saint Germain, where it's converted into beautiful golden energy and return to the universe. See it going up through the clouds, through the stars, past the planets, all the way up to the pearly gates, where you see it make a U-turn. And at the speed of thought, the fastest speed there is, it returns into your seventh chakra and fills your whole body with warm, healing, golden light that protects you. Feel it going from your nose all the way down and tingling in your toes. Ready again, deep breath in. Hold it. Imagine something negative you may have said to someone this week, getting caught up in that breath of life. Even if you don't remember it, it's in there. Blow it out. Right into that purple flame of Saint Germain. See it converted into beautiful golden light, and that energy going up through the stars, through the planets, making that U-turn at the pearly gates. And again, at the speed of thought, entering your seventh chakra, filling your whole body with that warm, tingling, protective light. One more time. Deep breath in, really fill your lungs. Hold it in there. Imagine something from your childhood that has been following you around, caught in that breath of life, something negative that you want to get rid of. Blow it out. It's gone into the purple flame of Saint Germain, where it's converted into beautiful golden energy again. We're not going to litter. It's going up through the universe, through the planets, up to those pearly gates, pulling in energy from those pearly gates and making a U-turn and coming right back down into your crown chakra at the speed of thought, filling your whole body with healing, protective, golden light. You are filled with glowing light. Now imagine holding in your hand your protective anything. It can be your favorite flower, a favorite piece of jewelry. It can be anything that is powerful because of love. This is your power in your hand. And I want you to take this. It can even be your pet. It can be your protective pet that's passed over. Imagine shrinking it down, holding it in your hand, and swing it all around your body, creating a beautiful mirrored bubble of protection. Build that bubble using your power gift, whatever that gift is. Only that which is of the highest and best, brought by your spirit guides and guardian angels, may enter that protective mirrored bubble. Everything else is reflected back from whence it came. We wish it so, and therefore it is. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. In the meantime, just listen to my voice. If you find that you're just having trouble re-entering your body or sitting in your seat, put your fingertips together like this and press into the prayer symbol, because it presses all of your power points in your body right there in your hand. And it will bring you right back into yourself. It can help take you out, and it can help bring you back in. Okay? So, here's our first question. If a person dies, do they see us in the spiritual realm before they cross over? So I'm trying to figure out exactly what you're asking. If a person dies, do they see us in the spiritual realm before they cross over? Do you mean, do they see us as they are entering the spiritual realm? Do they look down and see us? Yes, they can. But usually, they are focused on family members. Because you see, when we pass over, when we die, we're never alone. Yeah. Just like you weren't alone when you were born. Somebody was there to deliver you. And as you are reborn into the other side where you came from to begin with, there are people to receive you and help you learn how to be spirit again without a body. So when someone dies, they can see us grieving or holding each other from their spiritual realm. They don't necessarily see us up in the spiritual realm with them unless we happen to be psychic and we're able to leave our bodies and go up there with them to a degree. Usually what will happen is there will be a, that's almost like a line drawn in the sand, as it were, up there. And your spirit guides will tell you don't cross over that threshold because that's a step too far. Sometimes we can take them to the doorway of the other side, but it doesn't mean that we can go all the way over. Okay? Another person says, I was in the room with my grandmother when she passed. She was looking right through all of us around her bed, and she was responding to what she was seeing. If we spoke to her, she wouldn't acknowledge us. I was young, but I remember that she said, look at all those pretty flowers and listen to all the beautiful music. I love the music. I remember that one of the last things she said was simply, that's Jesus coming my way to get me. So she says that this gave her goosebumps. So can this happen? When people are getting ready to pass over, they see the other side before they get there. And quite often, the person getting ready to pass over gets extremely distracted. They get distracted by all of the passed over family members who come to greet them. Sort of like what I was talking about in the previous question. When we die, we're not alone. So you never have to be afraid of dying alone. Even if you are by yourself in a room, when you're ready to go, you will not be alone. And to actually kind of help with this, I'm going to read something to you out of one of my books, Mayhem to Miracles. And for those of you who bought the book, it's Teresa Velarde's story on page 113. It's called A Little Glimpse of Heaven. And if you turn to page 117, I'm going to start reading about a third of the way down the page. I'm not going to read the whole story to you. If you want to, you can get the book on Amazon. It's Mayhem to Miracles, and the foreword is by Dr. Temple Hayes, and it's true stories of courage, triumph, and peace. And so Teresa, it's a compilation book, and Teresa writes, that night, while I was tucking my mom in and asking her about her day and telling her about mine, she got completely distracted. Sort of like what you were saying about your dream. She got completely distracted from the conversation that I was having with her. She kept looking over my shoulder, over in the corner of the room where it met the ceiling. Although I tried to get her attention, her eyes were fixed on a spot. Soon she began to giggle. I watched her for a few more minutes before asking her, "Mom, what's going on?" Then it hit me. "Okay, Mom, who's here?" She turned and looked at me, and one by one, she said the names of all my deceased relatives. As I listened, I saw her face light up. It lit up with joy. "Mom, what are they doing?" I asked. "Oh, they're cooking the pasta for the party," she said. "I'm going home." Her joy and excitement was palpable. I had heard of people having similar experiences, of seeing their deceased loved ones before making the journey to heaven. But I caught a glimpse of heaven in my dying mother's eyes. It was a miracle. So that kind of answers your question about what was going on with your grandmother when she passed. She was looking right through you, and she was responding to what she was seeing, but she seemed to be totally distracted. And that's because all the people who passed over on the other side, who were her family, who loved her, were there to cook whatever it was, her favorite dish, for the party home. So the next question I'm going to take off of my phone. Question. And this is one for authors. My dreams are showing me life in the 1970s and seeing characters, and maybe someone is prompting me to write about them. Is that possible? Absolutely. What was going on in your life in the 70s? What was something you learned? What was something you were experiencing? Who were the people you met? What were the life lessons? Those are important things to get in a book, because look at how many years ago that was now. People who are going to be reading your book now will not have been alive in the 70s. Maybe they weren't born yet. And you're giving them an opportunity to look through the window of time and compare it to now. I mean, that's amazing. Think about all the things that happened in the 70s. That was an incredible time. So my answer to you would be yes. Pick something in the 70s that was life-altering for you, and go back to the beginning of that and use that as your GPS through your book. Follow that through your book to possibly now. Have your last chapter be now, and go back and compare, do that comparison. I think that'd be an incredible book. Okay, so next one. Can you answer? I'm taking this from the emails. Can you answer this question? Is it possible to wake up from a dream if you are aware that you are sleeping? Yes, absolutely. If you are aware that you are sleeping, while you're sleeping. That's called a lucid dream. It's a very important dream. It's a dream where you are almost standing to the side, watching you go through the dreaming process so that you can remember what you're doing in the dream and bring it back to your waking world. It's an advanced form of dreaming. A lot of people want to be able to lucid dream and fly in their dreams. Those are their two biggest desires in the dream world. So let's talk about lucid dreaming because it's a very important form of dreaming. And so I'm going to refer you to Dreams That Can Save Your Life, Early Warning Signs of Cancer and Other Illnesses, that I wrote with Dr. Larry Burke, who is chief radiologist at Duke University Medical. And our book is about, I think there are 32 stories in here, and many of them are lucid dreaming. I did a lot of lucid dreaming and shared stories in here, but the one I really want to share with you is on page 44. So if you turn to page 44, if you've got the book, it's in chapter 5 and it's called Basic Dream Categories. And I wrote this chapter and I used the phrase, physician heal thyself, from Luke 4:25 and 20 to 23. So I'm 4:22 to 23. So if you look at page, you've got your daydreams. Those of you who don't dream at night, you do dream. But if you can't remember your dreams, sometimes you can have a daydream that will crack that night dream door open, and you can get a little glimpse of the dream that you thought you forgot or that you thought you didn't have in your daydream. Another type of dream is your lucid dreams. That's on page 46. And in lucid dreams, it says lucid dreams are extremely vivid dreams you have while asleep in which you know you are dreaming. They usually occur just as you drop into a dream state, also referred to as a hypnagogic state. So if you think about it, when you first fall asleep, have you ever kind of seen flashes of light, maybe like psychedelic lights, different colors, or felt like you were spinning into or falling down a hole? Those are hypnagogic states, and they often take you into a lucid dream. Think of Alice in Wonderland when she falls down the rabbit hole and she passes all this strange stuff and all these strange colors, and she's spinning and she's twirling and she's going down. That's a hypnagogic state. And many people have a feeling of falling when they're falling into a lucid dream. See the play on words? Falling into your dream. The term lucid means clear, but lucid dreaming is more than having a clear dream. You must know it is a dream while you are dreaming by being aware of the environment in the dream. In other words, you have to know you're dreaming, where you are when you're dreaming, that you are actually just dreaming. So if all of a sudden Godzilla shows up and starts eating everybody else around you, you can go, this is just a dream. He can't eat me. That's a lucid dream. Focus on the details in the dream in order to bring them into your waking world for insertion in your dream journal, because they could be very important in your waking world. You need to bring them back with you because a lucid dream is very special. With time and practice, you can learn to control the outcome of these dreams to make them emotionally or physically healing dreams. I've always said, if you know you're in a lucid dream and you suddenly realize that there's a part of the dream you don't like, and you've been having it over and over again, you can have a lucid recurrent dream that's known as a nightmare because you keep having this dream that you hate. The outcome is not what you want. You wake up, you're crying or you're scared or you're just really angry. Change the ending of your lucid dream and you can change your life. Let me give you an example. This is kind of an important one, but you know what? We've got to go to a break. I already blew through the break by 1 minute. Every time I just get with you guys and start talking, I blow through the commercial breaks. So don't go away. When we come back, I'm going to tell you a lucid dream story that's true and is absolutely amazing. Change your ending, change your life. We'll be right back.
What if dreams can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Berg. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Are miracles real? Can you move from mayhem to miracles? 30 prominent authors say yes as they share their high fives and down lows of challenges, abuse, addiction, and love. Experience hope, the magic elixir of miracles, through the personal stories of New York Times bestselling authors James Redfield, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Sister Jenna, Reverend Temple Hayes, and many more. If you like bestsellers, chaos to clarity, and crappy to happy, you'll love crying and laughing through mayhem to miracles. Sacred stories of transformational hope. Available now on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.
Did you know that every word you speak matters? What you say and how you say it can make or break a relationship or shift the outcome of any situation. Are your conversations making a difference? Faith in God, gratitude, authenticity, and giving are Teresa Velarde's heart. It's in this spirit that she's focused on making a difference in the lives she's blessed to touch. Conversations That Make a Difference is now on syndicated Dreamvision 7 Radio Network every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with live call-in shows every first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
In a world facing annihilation, a miraculous African nun rises to become the first female pope through a web of war, murder, and betrayal. Loved by some, hated by many, she becomes the deadly target of Islamic terrorists and her own cardinals as she introduces a new vision that will either save humanity or accelerate its destruction. 4 people must race against a nuclear holocaust to learn her astonishing secret. Pope Annalisa is available at petercanova.com, Amazon, and other online booksellers and bookstores worldwide.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to Dreaming Healing on Dreamvision 7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. And just before the break, we were talking about lucid dreams. The question was, is it possible to wake up from a dream if you are aware that you're sleeping? And that's what a lucid dream is. You're aware that you're sleeping. And you can do some incredible things when that happens. And so this story that I'm going to share with you about changing the ending of a lucid dream and changing your life forever for the better is on page 46 of Dreams That Can Save Your Life. So if you want, I'm just going to go through it pretty quickly, but if you want the details, it's on that page 46. So there was there was a woman who was also one of my clients. Her name was Linda, and she had recurrent nightmares. She said they were recurrent nightmares, and they were really bad. They were actually making her sick. They were affecting her relationship with her husband. Her marriage was on the rocks because she was short-tempered. She was waking up in the middle of the night from these nightmares, and she was angry, and she was crying. And she called me up one day, and she said, "That's it. I'm not sleeping anymore. I don't care. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to do it." And I said, "Well, Linda, tell me your dream." And she said, "Well, I've been having this dream for like 20 years. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, and you're just telling me about it now?" "Okay, so tell me about it right now." And she said, "Well, in my dream, I'm sitting in my living room with my husband. It's dark. We're in the living room. We're sitting on the couch. We're watching TV. And suddenly there's a knock on the door. And my husband stands up, and I say, no, don't answer the door. Don't answer the door." But he ignores me, and he walks over and he opens up the door, and my dad is standing in the doorway. And I scream. And when I scream, I wake myself up. I wake my husband up, and then I can't go back to sleep, and I'm crying. And I said, "Okay, so what is it about your dad that's causing you to scream?" And I said, are you surprised to see him? What is it? She said, "Well, my dad's dead." And she said, "I couldn't stand the man when he was alive. So I don't know why he's showing up in my dreams. I don't want to see him. I don't want him in my dreams. And when he's there, it makes me really, really mad. I don't want him coming into my living room." Look at the play on words, living room. So I said, "Okay, let's work on that, Linda. Let's work on the fact that your dad is standing on the threshold. He's knocking to come into where you live, in this world, in this realm, where you're sitting in your living room watching TV, which is like a reality TV. You're not involved in this life because you're at a point where you have pulled back from life because of this dream. You're watching everybody else go through this life, but you've kind of put yourself on hold because this dream is disturbing you so badly. You don't even want to go to sleep anymore. You are sick, and your marriage is on the rocks. So this is a pretty important dream." I said, "What is it about your father that's bothering you?" And she said, "He was so mean to me when he was alive. And I was so glad when he died and couldn't bother me anymore. And now he's showing up in my dreams. He started showing up like 20 years ago. He's been dead like 30. I said, "Okay." She said, what should I do? How can I make him stop? And I said, "Well, obviously he has a message. And he would not be allowed to come and knock on your door. You notice he's knocking on the door. He's not opening the door and just stepping into your living room. He's not opening that door between life and death and stepping into where you live. He's knocking. He's asking for permission which he had to get to do that. And instead of you answering the door because you're afraid, because you've had this dream over and over again, making it a recurrent dream, a recurrent nightmare, your husband, your better half, your protector is going and opening the door because this is an important moment. She said, well, what do I do to make it stop? And I said, well, you may not like this, but if you want this dream to stop, the next time your dad knocks on the door, you get up and open the door and you face him. You face him and ask him what he's doing. Tell him you don't want him knocking on your door. And she said, well, why would he be doing that? And I said, because you may still be his little girl to him. Something's going on and he's still your father. So the little girl within you is responding to your father outside that door. And it's so important. It's making you sick. It's affecting your marriage. It's affecting your job. You can't work because you're ill. So you need to resolve this. The next time your dad knocks on that door, I want you to answer it and ask him what he wants. She said, well, I don't think I can do it. I said, well, if you don't, he's going to keep showing up. So you need to change this ending. And that's going to change your life. So I didn't hear from her for a couple of days. And I thought, oh my gosh, this may not be a good sign. And the third day, the phone rings. And it's Linda. And she said, Kat, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe it. The next night, I was in the dream. And I knew I was dreaming the dream this time. And I said, oh no, I'm in the dream. It became a lucid dream. She said, suddenly, I'm sitting on the couch in my dark living room. It's a dark place for her where she's living, watching TV, not in life, just kind of watching it. There's a knock on the door. My husband goes to stand up and I said, no, I'll get it. And my husband sat back down and I got up and I started walking toward the door. She said, Kat, it's like the doorknob was almost like running away and the room got longer and longer. And I didn't think I was ever going to get there, but I finally did. And I reached out and I turned the doorknob and I opened the door and there was my dad. And I looked at him and I said, Dad, what do you want? And he said, Linda, I just want you to know I do love you. I love you. And she said, I don't know what happened to me. She said, suddenly I threw my arms around his neck and I said, Daddy, I love you too. And she said, and then the dream stopped. It stopped. It went somewhere else. I don't know what happened. I was in another part. I don't even remember moving out of that dream. And she said, it's been 3 days and I haven't had the dream anymore. I feel so good. So the moral of that story is, if you are having a lucid dream nightmare, and you've been having it for a while, jump into the dream. Take control of the dream. Open that door. Step up. Face whatever it is that you have to deal with. In the dream realm, it can't hurt you. It's a dream. But it will help you resolve something that is hurting you in your waking world. Change the ending, change your life for the better forever. Okay, so this story is in Dreams That Can Save Your Life. So, let me see. Question here. I've been around long enough to see old movies redone, songs remastered, and although I am not a real ardent book reader, I've seen some books recently that seem way familiar. is this just the reality of entertainment? You know, it's like the wheel of life. What goes around comes around. Bell-bottom jeans are back in. We're seeing a lot of movies remade. Robin Hood. Now it's, what is it? The Huntsman. Why is that happening? For the same reason, it's almost like one of the first dreams or questions that I answered about the 1970s. Things that we liked in the 70s are coming back to us now in 2024. Why? Because a lot of people in 2024 never saw those great things in the 70s. So they're redoing them. And sometimes that happens in our dreams. Sometimes you will dream a dream now that maybe you dreamt in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. And you're like, oh, I've done that. I've been in a dream and gone, oh yeah, I remember that when I dreamt that before. Because the old can become new. It's part of the process of life. So yes, when something seems familiar that you're watching, it could be a remake, or it could be a deja vu. It could be something that you're remembering from a previous life. And sometimes your dreams can help you with that. So what I would suggest, if you really want to get the answer that's perfect for you, ask for a clarifying dream. So, you know, I have been seeing all these old movies redone and songs remastered. Can you send me a dream that explains why this is happening to me? And you'll be absolutely amazed. Because remember, our inner selves are always working, whether we are awake or asleep. So our inner selves will be involved in that dream. And clarifying dreams are very, very important. In this book, and again, in one of the stories, I can't remember the title of the story or the page because it just popped into my mind now. There was a woman, I believe she had skin cancer. And she was having precognitive dreams and dreams that were telling her that she had skin cancer. But our dreams often talk to us with signs and symbols. And so her dream was talking to her with signs and symbols. Oh, her house was there in front of her. And up just below the attic, there was some rotten wood on the left-hand side. And it was like being eaten away by black mold or something. She was like, I have no idea what this dream means. What are you trying to tell me with this dream? And so she looked at her body because she's a dream expert. And she's going, well, that area must be like my shoulders. And my left shoulder, yeah, there's something here, but I went to the doctor already, and they said there's nothing there. It's just a mole, not to worry about it. So that night, she said, I would like a clarifying dream. Spirit guides, guardian angels, give me a clarifying dream. I'm not getting the signs and symbols. No house. No mold, just give it to me straight. So that night, her spirit guides took her to a graveyard. Yeah, they did. They took her to a graveyard. It was a very old graveyard, she said, in Ireland. And they took her and they stood her in front of this beautiful grave that was full of daisies. It was just loaded with daisies. She's looking up at the headstone and she's like, I can't read the headstone. And they said, the headstone's not important. You don't need to read the headstone. And they took her over and they showed her another grave. Yeah, it was empty. It had no flowers on the top, just dirt. And she said, okay, what is this? And her spirit guide turned to her and said, if you don't go to your doctor right away, and get that shoulder looked at again, by a reputable doctor, you're going to be underneath the ground pushing up those daisies. So there were no signs and symbols there. It was a clarifying dream. Go to the doctor now, or you will be pushing up daisies. So I guess if there was any symbol or sign, it was the daisies. So she did. She went to the doctor, a different doctor, and she said, look, I have a really bad feeling about this right here. I can't even sleep. I'm having such a bad feeling about it. I said, okay, I'll take a biopsy. If it'll make you feel better, I'll just do a biopsy. Came back and she had melanoma. She had melanoma and had to go and have it removed and take treatment. So clarifying dreams can be very important, and they're available to you. All you have to do is tell your spirit guides, guardian angels, give me a clarifying dream. Guide me in my dreams and help me understand what it is you're spending so much time and energy with signs and symbols trying to tell me. Just give me the facts. Give me the facts, ma'am. I've got to take another break. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
What if dreams can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Burke. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Why are we here? How can we be happy? Questions asked from millennials to boomers. Crappy to Happy, Sacred Stories of Transformational Joy answers them using true stories of grit, grace, and love. James Redfield, author of The Celestine Prophecy, wrote in the foreword, "This book is a seminar about emerging truths and offers grounded solutions through the art of the comeback." Dr. Bernie Siegel, a contributing author, wrote, "Bodies die, but spirits and consciousness survive and recycle." So, grab some tissues, open your book, and prepare to cry and laugh till it heals. Crappy to Happy by Reverend Ariel Patricia and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and booksellers worldwide. Darkest hours to brightest moments. Transformation from despair to happiness. And chaos to clarity. Real people, real pain, real healing. Life-threatening illness, death, abusive relationships, divorce, and overcoming addiction are challenges these men and women faced head-on. See how they emerged stronger and happier. Buy the new book, Chaos to Clarity, Sacred Stories of Transformational Change by Reverend Patricia Caginello and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available on sacredstoriespublishing.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to Dreaming Healing on Dreamvision 7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kat Kanavos, and my guests tonight are you. I'm spending this whole show answering all your wonderful questions you've sent me. So welcome to the last part of our show tonight. It goes so quickly when I do a show where I'm just talking to you and I'm not really interviewing another person. I'm kind of interviewing all of you. So thank you so much for all of the the questions you send me, all the emails you send me. I really appreciate them. And I've only really gotten through about half of them, seriously. So I may have to do a part 2 to this show so that I can make it through the rest of them as well, because they're important. And they're great questions. So this one was very, very close to my heart. Someone wrote, I lost my sister this year to cancer. She died about a month after her diagnosis. Then I dreamed that I was standing in her bathroom door, looking out into the hallway, and saw 2 of her standing there. One was dressed entirely in black with a lot of dark eye makeup and a lot of makeup on. No expression, just staring at me, standing and staring at me. The other her appeared to be wearing nothing, no clothing. And she had very short hair rather than her long hair. And everything about her, about person number 2 there, was almost translucent. She turned to walk away, but I grabbed her arm and we ended up in her bedroom, where she simply vanished, never looking back at me. Then when I was standing there watching where she vanished, I saw her dog, who had died about the same time my sister did. Again, the dog had no expression on its face. It was just looking at me. What could this mean? I didn't get the feeling that she was angry or sad or really anything. And I felt happy in my dream. And when I woke up, I thanked her for visiting me in my dream. What a great dream. You had a very special event. So let's back up and look at where you say you dreamed that you were standing in her bathroom door. Okay, so your bathroom, let's look at what happens when someone is passing over. They're bathed from the beginning of time at funerals, burials, the person is bathed. And that bathing, that water is spirituality. So they are cleansed with spirituality. And you entered her bathroom door, not yours, hers. You went through that doorway of spirituality and being bathed and sent to the other side, cleaned of the earth. You're now ready for spirit. It's where you visit the other realm. When you go through that door, you're visiting another realm. So then you're looking out into the hallway. Look at what you're saying. You're looking out into the hallway, the space between the worlds. You go down the hallway toward the light. You cross the Rubicon, you cross that river between the living and the dead. And so you are looking out into that space between the realms, and you see 2 of her standing there. 2 is usually balance. I would wonder, what is her astrological sign? Is she the twin? But there's 2 of her standing there, but did she also have kind of 2 personalities? One, she's dressed entirely in black, which kind of would make sense, because when we pass over, there's a bit of a grieving of letting go of this world. As well we should, because let's face it, if we didn't grieve letting go, if we were happy to let go of this world and go back to where we were before we were born, we'd all be jumping off of bridges or buildings or jumping in front of trains. We don't. Why? Because we've become very attached here. We forget what it was like before we were born, as well we should. Or like I said, we'd be jumping in front of trains. So she's dressed entirely in black. She's grieving. Even her, if you look at the burials of the Egyptians, look at the dead. They wear a lot of dark, heavy makeup. It's called their burial mask. So this her number one, is the earthbound spirit that has gone over into the room or the hallway between the living and the dead. She has no expression yet. She's just kind of staring at you. But the other one, the other her, so you've got body, spirit, the other her appears to be wearing nothing. Well, you don't really need clothing over there. Clothing is kind of for, covering your body, but also to keep you safe against the elements. I mean, we still have people in South America and some of the jungles that really don't wear any clothing. Why? They don't need to. They're not going to freeze to death. So she's wearing nothing, and she has very short hair, whereas her hair, probably number one, her, is long. Our hair is our thoughts. Our hair is our thoughts and dreams. And so with her old self, she's full of all the thoughts of life and passing through life. But her spirit self is not bothered with that. Her thoughts are very short, and they're very directed in spirit. And she's almost translucent because she's spirit. And she turns and she walks away from you because that life is pretty much done, and it hasn't been that long since she passed over. So she has not really gotten permission to return yet, like in Linda's story, Linda's father, to interact with you, because she has to learn to be spirit now. And so when you grab her arm in her bedroom, so look at where you are now, you're in her bedroom. What happens in a bedroom? You sleep and you dream and you combine the realms of the living and the dead and the sleeping and the awake. And so you grab her arm, but she simply vanishes. And that's because you grabbed her spirit. Her physical body is gone. She's now spirit form. And she doesn't look back at you because she's on another journey now. You will see her again later, just not now. And then you look down and you see her dog, who died about the same time she did. It's not unusual to have our pets greet us. And the pet's looking at you, the dog's looking at you like, yeah, I see you. Do you see me? And they're not always sure that you do. And so it doesn't really have any expression. It's just looking at you because it will be joining her. It's already been there. It's joined her. So you didn't get the feeling that your sister was angry and you were happy because that's what you were. She wasn't angry. She wanted you to know that she wasn't angry, that she's on a journey, that she has turned into spirit, that her grieving body now is interred or whatever was done with it, but she's not dead. She's just in a different life. And this often happens. So, it was a beautiful dream. I'm almost positive that you will see your sister again very soon. I remember when my mom passed over and I saw her much as you saw your sister, and I grabbed her. Yeah, I didn't grab her arm. I grabbed my whole mom and was holding her and said, Mom, I miss you so much. And she said, kind of matter of factly, I miss you too, but not with as much energy as I did. And then she simply disappeared in my arms. She was gone, poof, like smoke. I remember thinking, oh, this sucks. I really did. I thought to myself, this just sucks. I can't even hold on to her. But that's what happens. That's part of the process. And we have to accept it. So I want to thank everybody for letting me answer your questions. And I thank you so much for sending them. And don't forget the upcoming events. It's Spirit at the Sea Dreamy Writers Conference Cruise again. Go to my website, Kat, the Queen of Dreams. The poster is there. Sign up for it. It's dreams and writing. Everything we've done tonight, dreams and writing. And reserve your space. Call Michelle at 800-658-6869. Ask for Kat's Writers Cruise. And I'll see you there. Remember, the early bird gets the worm. Remember, everybody dreams, but some dreams save lives. Good night, everybody.